things are moving on now with shared services, particularly underpinned by new digital technologies that are going from being what was cost reduction exercises to one that now needs to add value to the organisation. And through those digital technologies, you're able to bring solutions that, as an individual organisation, you couldn't afford. Right? So you can apply things like process automation with new robotics tools, cloud-based ERPs that are much more flexible and built on best practice, and data analytics capabilities that can really help you to draw insight into your organisation, not just in the shared service. But it also needs a stronger platform of customer service and a customer service ethos. And if you can get that right, that benefits the customer, obviously, by getting regular feedback on a transaction by transaction basis, rather than a review of history on SLAs and things like that, which is no longer what customer service is about. It also delivers a professionalization of the service delivery, which is very highly motivational to the staff involved. And the customers can then focus on the outcomes rather than being concerned about how they're delivered. So it's almost as if shared services become something that happens, and it delivers lots of capability, lots of service outcomes, and the people on the front line can focus on what they're there for. You're there to provide your frontline service, right? Not deliver how an invoice is paid, right? It shouldn't be of interest to you as long as it's paid. First and foremost, leadership, right? Both from a customer and a provider perspective, and leadership around a clear, pragmatic vision. So know where you're going to go, take smaller steps rather than one big leap, and prove the foundations are there around that customer service ethos. Engage with users. So when you engage with users, you're starting to engage not just in the shared service function, but in your customer organization, and both at all levels, whether that's senior executives or the people doing the work on the ground and people needing the information. And you also need customers to understand their role as a customer. They're looking for outcomes. They're not interested, they shouldn't be interested in how things are done. And the provider needs to make sure they understand what a customer needs and deliver that. And together, then what you're going to deliver, what that focus and that strategy is. And you also need to want to deliver good service to people. It's not a case of saying that, you'll take my service and that's it, and you like it or you don't. You're there to deliver a service, and what good shared services is about, that professional shared service, customer service ethos, underpinned by technology. Because when people raise issues, have questions, and all things like that, you need technology to help to respond quickly, because people want quick responses. If you don't do that, then you're in trouble, and your backlog of responses builds up, and people get frustrated. And customers say, well, if you can't deliver what I want in the time that I need it, I'll do it myself. My biggest one that I've seen in my experience really is where people have come together because they think they should have a shared service and not understand why it's going to be a shared service and what it's going to deliver for you. And if you don't have this clear outcomes, you've got that uncertainty of delivery. Customers will soon find that they can have excuses not to join. So you need to get that clear. I think by not having a strong digital platform, the service will overwhelm the shared service function. So they will deliver poor service to the customer. And that will then reinforce the negativity that comes from customers and saying, I need a service which is as good as mine. What you tend to find actually is that shared services done properly with a strong customer service ethos deliver better service than an individual service in a customer. And if you're not delivering standard services, you need to really do that, because if you're not going to, why bother, right? If you're delivering individual services for individual customers, you're not gaining that synergy and that scale to deliver that value across the piece. But overall, I think, if you don't have that leadership across delivery and customer organizations, the greater chance of failure becomes when the program hits those bumps in the road, which it always does, whether you're doing it internally or shared services from customer provider. There's always bumps in the road, and you've got to be ready for those and have that strong leadership to guide you through.